Okay, Jared, I believe roll call's next.
Mr. Earhart?
Here, I'm on. It just takes me a while to get to that mic. I'm sorry.
Okay, sir.
Here.
Cindy Brode?
Here.
Julia Jamarki Kukrow? Mr. Harley?
Here.
Mr. Kerr?
Present.
Dr. Rick?
Here.
Dr. Schaefer?
Here.
Mr. Schroeder?
Here. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our meeting tonight. I do not have a board president message. Do we have any public comment?
No, sir.
No public comment tonight. Nobody from SGA. Superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. President. I emailed all of our families earlier this morning about the Indiana School District and Indiana Borough Police Partnership. As you know, this is approved, ratified 2 or 3 weeks ago by our board, made the request to the borough. The borough has approved. They voted 9-0, and the partnership is enacted starting today. We had a great day. Axel, the therapy dog, was throughout the schools today. There's a visible presence by the Indiana Borough Police. And I just want to make sure that the public's aware of this agreement once again. And I did email our families, and we did send a letter to the Gazette to be published in the article. And that's all I have for this evening, sir.
Okay, thank you. Is Ron online with us tonight?
He's not, sir.
Okay, so no solicitors report. Okay. Well, no presentations. Looks like we're down to approval of minutes and agenda. Motion.
Move. So move.
Second.
Okay, Tammy moved and Cinda second. Questions, comments, or discussion on the agenda or the minutes? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, tomorrow I have a ICTC JOC meeting, so I have no report today. Tammy, what about Aaron?
Aaron had the usual resignations and a few hirings, and they also tentatively adopted the proposed budget for the next school year.
Oh, good. All right, and you're also on for outreach.
Mike, would you like to go over that for me?
Yep. Yes, ma'am. We are working with, I have a meeting this Friday with IUP to talk about developing a video. We looked at some different videos that colleges produce to help improve and communicate the brand. So we have a meeting with them to look at that. We also discussed a potential partnership with the Indiana Gazette that we need to dig further into at this time. We have made no decision to continue that.
We're also going to be looking at doing a mission statement and trying to do some more community outreach.
Okay, very good, very good. Tom, academic and extracurricular.
No report. I have 2 motions. Take them as agenda items, take them as consent. I move 5-2, out-of-state field trip to the baseball team, and 5-3, student placement agreement be approved.
Second.
Moved in second. Questions, comments, or discussion on those 2 motions?
Yes, the student placements, Arizona State University. Are we attracting?
No.
Why are they coming?
Sometimes we have student teachers. This is one where it's a current teacher who's gone back and has English as second language certification. So he's doing it through Arizona State.
Okay,
Has to do some work in school, but we just like to make sure we have an agreement on hand and approved before we do it.
okay, very good.
Oh, and for the record, this should all be working during his prep or before or after school. We will not be giving up teaching time, just so the board's aware.
Okay, anything else?
That's
All,
it.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion's carried. Cinda, your turn.
Okay, we haven't had a meeting, so there's no committee meeting report. We've got a bunch of motions, and unless anybody wants to pull anything out, I'm going to take them all as consent.
Let's
You're pulling?
let's withhold 6.3.
I asked, and he said I didn't have to. You just want me to be able to vote no,
He
right?
doesn't, he doesn't.
You knew with
he
consent it
doesn't-
was
he
all going to
doesn't-
be, okay.
He doesn't have, it's not his call.
We'll pull 6.3. I didn't ask Kevin, I asked Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 6.2 is board policies that we're doing for the second reading. We went over them the last time and talked about them in the committee. 6.4 is resignation of professional staff. We've got 3 teachers. Scott Mossgrove from the senior high social studies is resigning. I think that's retirement. Lori Shields, junior high science teacher, is also resigning, and Larry Nath, senior high English teacher, is also included in that. Resignation of support staff. I don't know how to say this. Marjana Farouk is resigning. Bethany Elliott is resigning. Eileen Schock is resigning. Those are all para-educators. A letter of resignation from Bernie Parker, food service truck driver, and a letter of resignation from Leslie Wendell, Eisenhower Elementary School administrative assistant. Resignation of a confidential secretary, Barb Byerly, will be resigning. 6.7 is a request for a leave of absence, which is a standard request from one of our employees. 6.8 is a custodian substitute list. And 6.9 is employment of support staff. We will be voting on hiring 5 paraeducators. That would be Anna Blose, Tommy Dubose, Ashley Backer, Marquise Johnson, and Shyla Jones.
Okay. Do
Second.
I have a second?
You want to bring that?
Second.
I didn't say all of those names. The paraeducators will be provided for the press.
I just did.
She did for me, just make sure the packets went through.
Okay, who seconded? Tom did.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
Terry did too.
Jim pointed out that Mr. Nath, his last day, 30th work day of 2034, we want to thank him for.
That is fine.
It's a lot
Wait a minute, why,
That's
I
a
didn't see
well,
that.
yeah,
why isn't Kevin's 2034?
yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
we can change that.
Well, there's no date on
We
Kevin.
can hold him for 60
Effective
years.
as
can't
soon
we?
as he can be released.
Oh,
He
hold
can't
for
be,
60
so
days.
what's the point?
So
yeah, that's
so we need to change that to 2024 school year.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And Mr. President, just so you know, with some of the support staff and professional staff resignations, we did not include Kevin's years and experience, but you're looking at over 130 years of experience in the district. So a lot of great teachers and support staff leaving, retiring, and moving on. So we appreciate all their time, sir.
Yes, absolutely. Any other questions, comments, or discussion on the motions presented? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed? Okay, motion's carried.
Okay,
Okay.
6.3, attempted resignation of administrative personnel. And then seriously, that the board accepts with regret the letter of resignation from Kevin Edmondson, Horace Mann Elementary Principal, effective as soon as he can be released due to other employment, and authorizes the administration to post and advertise for this position.
It's just gonna die for a lack of a second. I want to point that out.
Terry just seconded it.
Oh,
I think Terry just seconded.
He did. Thanks, Terry.
Nice job, Terry. Obviously, Kevin, it's, we understand completely the familiar ties and, why you're doing this. And, from my perspective, you're going to be sorely missed. And I'm especially going to miss the sausages. But thank you. And as I told you, we want to know when you're coming back.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to publicly thank you, sir, Mr. Vukovic and his team, the entire community. That's why it was important for me to come here tonight. I want to thank everybody for the opportunity for the last 2.5 years, whether the junior high or most recently at the Horace Mann. I mean that sincerely from the bottom of my heart. And I want to publicly thank everybody for the time I spent here. I'll always be grateful. And you never know when I'm going to show up with a crock pot of hot sausage. You never, I don't say goodbye. I just say till next time. But thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate you all. Thank you.
So conditionally upon a pot of sausage,
There you go.
we may.
But thank you, sir.
And I mean that, sometimes these platitudes are just because we're trying to be nice, but there are times when we really mean it, and I certainly want to say that's the case here.
I appreciate that, sir. Thank you.
All right, any further questions or comments for Kevin? All those reluctantly say aye.
Uh,
Aye.
Oh, there goes Terry again.
Yeah, there you go. Terry had to lead the pack. All those opposed? Okay, yeah, you don't get the vote.
I think there's only 2 votes for him to go.
Motion
Doesn't it take a
carries.
majority?
I think Cinda voted no too, so,
So it's 2-2.
okay. That takes us down, I think, to
Buildings and grounds.
buildings and grounds. Terry,
Okay. We did have a meeting between the last board meeting and this meeting. And we started out on the first thing on the agenda was the Eisenhower renovation project. So there was an update on the schematic design of that. We never did get to 1B, which we were going to discuss some possible solutions to the geese problem at the site. And then we got estimates regarding the electric utility line relocation at Ben Franklin. That totals a little over $100,000. We discussed the replacement of exterior doors at East Pike Elementary. And I think we're going to get some more information on that. We got an update on the junior high auditorium lighting estimates, and we had asked Mr. Kuchar to go back and update those estimates to see 2 things. One is how much it would cost to do everything all at once, or if we were doing it in phases, and he has done that. And then we talked about a traffic concern at the Ben Franklin Elementary School with parent pickup. And then before I jump to the agenda, we did get an email from Elijah today. The kickoff meeting for the East Pike Old office and administration work is scheduled for January 31st with the contractors. So moving into the agenda, I'm okay with taking, well, is there any, I guess I just gave the Eisenhower update where,
yes,
and then I'd like to pull 7.3B out separately, and I'm okay with doing 7.3A and C together. Any comments on that? If not, I'll move 7.A, which is a mechanical duct into the building envelope, and C is geothermal mechanical system.
second.
okay, it's moved in second. Questions, comments, or discussion on 7.3A and C? Nothing heard from the group. The only thing that I will add is that I'm disappointed. I understand and will support the motion C, but with all of the chatter at the various state and federal levels about trying to battle climate change, it's a shame that there was not funding available to the local school districts to help in that regards, and geothermal would certainly be one of the approaches that could be taken. The point being is that from the immediate taxpayers of Indiana school district, there just wasn't the dollars to spend on geothermal at this point in time. All those,
Walter,
Yes, sir.
I'll just say a couple of things about A and C. A, it was determined that maybe there wasn't much of an advantage to putting the system within the envelope of the building, especially in the basement of Eisenhower, which some people call it a basement, some people call it a crawl space. It has dirt floors and such, so that's why we're going with the rooftop little rooms to put mechanical equipment inside them. And then C, again, I think there were also reasons not to do the geothermal according to our architect's engineer. And one big one is that the building's not used 12 months year round. So,
Okay, Terry. All right, all those in favor of motions A and C, say aye.
aye.
Those opposed, motion carried.
No.
Oh, Cinda votes no on both. Okay,
Okay,
All right.
7.3B is this storefront window concept that based on the recommendation of the committee of the whole, the board approves the concept of using a storefront window design, including prefabricated panels as part of the renovation design for Eisenhower.
Second.
okay, moved in second.
And the
Question?
reason, well, the reason I wanted this pulled out, we had asked the architect to supply us with some markups or, pictures of what this is going to look like. And since we haven't got them, I can't support the motion.
Terry, if just as a point of order, if that information is critical, that portion or that motion could be tabled. You do have that option if you so choose.
Well, I know that, and I'm glad you mentioned that. And there's been several board members and administrative team members who have expressed that we don't want the building to look like a car dealership. And so I just want to be careful that we don't approve something that we don't know what it's going to look like.
Can I try an amendment to the motion, Terry?
You can,
That
you
we approve this pending approval of a final design, so they can bring those designs to us and we can look at them, but using this methodology.
I'd rather hold off, Tom.
Okay, so then the question, Terry, is if you wish to make a formal motion to table and you get a second, then there'll be a vote without any discussion.
Okay, I'll make that motion to table this.
Second.
Moved in second. Okay, roll call, Jared.
Tammy Blank,
Yes.
Cinda Brooke,
No. Oh,
Julie,
wait, am I?
you're voting to table.
Table.
I voted to table, yes. I don't want that. Sorry.
Mr. Harley,
No.
Mr. Kerr,
Yes.
Dr. Rigg,
Yes.
Dr. Schaefer,
Yes.
Mr. Schroed,
No.
Mr. Earhart.
No.
Motion passes 5-3.
Okay, so that motion is tabled.
Yeah.
My instruction, Jared, would be to have those guys get that information as soon as they can to us so that we can take it off the table and vote on it. Okay. Julia's not here. Terry or Cinda, do you want to take the audit and finance?
Go ahead, Cindy, you're there.
Okay, we don't have a committee meeting report, and there's only one motion for cooperative purchasing program. That based on the recommendation of the administration, the board approves the resolution to participate in the Aaron IU Cooperative Purchasing Program.
Second.
Okay, moved in second. Questions, comments, or discussion on that? Jared, maybe you want to explain?
We use this mainly for copy paper. They do have some other options for cleaning materials, art, but we mainly use it for our copy paper every year, which we're being told we're going to get. Should receive at least one bid for this year. Last year we didn't get any from anybody because of a lack of copy paper, but we're hoping this year we'll get something.
Okay. Questions, comments? All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, motion carries. We're down to the closing. There are no discussion items. Is there any public comment on agenda item? Ron, you raised your hand?
I did, Walter. I just wanted to inform you, just before you started the executive session tonight, there were 2 students killed today in a shooting at Des Moines, Iowa. In Des Moines, Iowa school today. There's a third one also that's being hospitalized. So I know you didn't see that, but I just hope everybody keep their families in their prayers tonight.
Can do, and you're right, I did not see that. Thank you, Ron. We had enclosures. We all,
Hand raised.
oh, I'm sorry.
Actually,
Ashley, go ahead, Ashley. I'm sorry, I missed that.
That's okay. I understand. The screen's probably really far away anyhow. I just wanted to kind of talk just really briefly about the amount of money that these paras are getting paid. We're losing paras left and right all the time to other agencies that are paying them $19, $20, $21 an hour without an educational background. And I just want to know what the district can do collectively to try to get more qualified individuals into these schools. They are working with our children. They're not essentially just cleaning the rooms. And as a special needs parent, it's very frustrating that my son's been without a one-on-one since November 4th when he lost his para.
Okay, thank you, Ashley. Anybody else? Okay, we did have an executive session this evening, and one of the things that we certainly discussed was staffing issues. We also just discussed contract work with our architect. Our next board meeting will be a regular meeting on February the 13th at 7 p.m. We'll have an academic and extracurricular committee on February the 6th, and policy and personnel on the 13th as well. Both of those starting at 5:30. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We stand adjourned.
I wish you had something.